Hi, I'm Kelly Gebhardt, and I'm going to be sharing the story um, created by Robert Munsch. And he came up with this story when he was working at a daycare with his wife, and all the daycare workers that worked with them were all single mothers. And Robert Munsch would tell stories to the children, and he would tell a lot of stories about princes saving princesses. And his wife came up to him one day and said, "Robert, you got to change your story. There just aren't any princes left." And so that's when Robert came up with Paper Bag Princess. And it goes a little something like this. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess, and she wore beautiful, beautiful, expensive princess gowns, and she lived in a big, expensive castle. And she was going to marry Prince Ronald. Uh, until one day, a dragon came, and he burnt that castle right to the ground. And he picked up Ronald and kidnapped him and left a trail of horse bones and burnt forests all the way as far as the eye could see. Elizabeth decided she was going to get Ronald back. And so she looked around her castle for something to wear, and the only thing she could find that wasn't burnt up was a paper bag. So she put that paper bag on, and she followed that trail of horse bones and burnt forest until she got to a cave with a huge door and a huge knocker on it. She got that knocker and she knocked. And the dragon answered. He stuck out his head and he said, "Oh, princess, I love to eat princesses, but I've already eaten a whole castle today. Come back tomorrow." And he slammed the door in Elizabeth's face. And Elizabeth took that knocker again. Knock, knock, knock. And the dragon opened the door. And he said, "Ugh, I told you. I've already eaten an entire castle today. Come back tomorrow." And Elizabeth shouted, "Wait! Is it true, dragon? You are the fiercest dragon in all the land?" And the dragon said, "Why, yes." And Elizabeth asked, "Is it true that you can burn up 50 forests with just one breath?" And the dragon said, "Why, yes." And he took a deep breath, and he let out so much fire. He burned up 50 forests. And Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again." And the dragon took another deep breath. Then he let out so much fire that he burnt down 100 forests. And Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic!" And the dragon took another deep, huge breath. There was not even enough fire left to cook a meatball. And Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly all the way around the world in just 10 seconds?" Well, the dragon said, "Why, yes." And he jumped up and he flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. And Elizabeth said, "Fantastic! Do it again." And the dragon jumped up, took a deep breath, and flew all the way around the world in just 20 seconds. And when he got back, he flopped right down on the floor and went right to sleep. And Elizabeth whispered, "Hello, dragon." And the dragon didn't even blink. And Elizabeth stuck her head inside that dragon's ear and she shouted, "Hey, dragon!" And the dragon didn't even move. So Elizabeth stepped over that dragon and she pushed open the dragon's door, and there was Prince Ronald. And Prince Ronald looked at Elizabeth and he said, "Oh, Elizabeth, oh, your hair is a mess. You're you're wearing a paper bag? Oh, come back when you're dressed like a real princess." And Elizabeth looked at Ronald and she said, "You know, Ronald, you have really nice hair and you look like a real prince, but you're a bum." And they didn't get married for all. The end. Thank you for listening to The Paper Bag Princess. Thank you.